Some people want absolute gun control where the Second Amendment is repealed and no one is allowed to have guns.
Right.
And other people want zero restriction, anything you want, buy it, carry it, whatever.
Mm-hmm. There's
a happy medium that neither side wants to meet. And when I was tweeting with a lot of gun control advocates last night, a lot of them don't want to hear, about compromise. They just want to legislate against people that are legal, responsible gun owners. That's always what happens. Somebody even said it. I can't remember who it was, but said anytime there's a shooting, a rampage, whatever it is, the lawmakers get in line and make laws against people that didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And just
did that guy? I don't like saying his name. Did that guy get his gun legally?
Yeah. He, in Arizona, you're able to walk into a store. He did the background check, and they sold him a gun, even though he had an arrest, a drug arrest. He had some issues with his mental health, things like that. Now that should be looked into. Yeah, kooks shouldn't fucking be able to get their hands on guns.
Right.
Sorry, but again, that could be something that is subjective and interpreted by someone who. What is it that would make somebody nutty enough to not be able to buy a gun? Is it you've been institutionalized?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Or do you keep going down the line till, have you ever seen a therapist? All right, now you can't get one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, meanwhile, I think 90% of the people have seen therapists. I don't know what the answer is for that one. But I certainly know the answer isn't more gun control on responsible gun owners. I brought up a point last night. Chicago. For years and years and years, Chicago, you can't have a gun in Chicago. You're not allowed, as a citizen, if you want to adhere to the law, to have a gun. You can't do it. That is the strictest form of gun control you could have. You're not allowed to have one. They can't go, let's make gun laws in Chicago stricter. Oh, how? You're already not allowed to have one legally.
Right.
Yet the gun violence in Chicago tops the list every fucking year as the most violent city for gun violence in the country. So it doesn't work. And then other cities where even Tucson has amongst the lowest murder rates by guns, and you're allowed to go in and buy them. And occasionally shit like this happens. Sorry. People buy cars and plow into other people with them and kill people.
What about Dallas? I know a little bit about Dallas. I used to spend a little time down there, and wow, everyone is carrying.
Everyone's carrying.
I mean, everybody.
Everyone's carrying. I don't know the crime stats, but I
it's unbelievable
that the Dallas
breast implants and guns. That's Dallas,
and especially legal gun owners murdering people in Dallas probably a fuck of a lot lower than illegal gun owners murdering them in cities where there's strict gun control. Someone was giving me shit last night about, relax. No one's taking your guns, Anthony. And it's like, you know what? It's one of these situations where they'll go after one thing, and once they get that, they'll go after something else and something else. No one stops. When you have an organization that is there for this political purpose, and this one being strict gun control laws, they don't get something and then disband. They move on to the next thing. So if they made regulations where it was tougher for somebody to get a gun, which people would agree with, the next step is something worse. And the next step, and the next, and then you're not able to buy a certain amount of ammunition, and you can't buy certain guns. Somebody said also, what's the use of having an AR-15? It's not a hunting rifle. It's a rifle to hunt people. There's no use for it. There's no use for a 30-round magazine. There's no use. You know what? There's no use for a beautiful fucking 69 GTO either. That's just been blown out and looks, sounds, and runs like a motherfucker. But people like to have them. Should we all just get a Prius? Should we all just get the new Leaf electric car?
You did some reading this weekend.
It's fucking, yeah. It's fucking.
I've never heard this angle before.
It's crazy. Should we all have the same safest thing just to make everybody safe? Mm-hmm. There's reasons people buy certain guns.
Enthusiasts?
Enthusiasts. They're fun to shoot. It's a great recreation. It doesn't always have to be for hunting and self-defense. I like guns because they're fun to go to the range and challenge yourself at shooting targets at distance. It's a fun hobby, and certain guns are fun to shoot. You don't have to fucking tell me why I need to own a fucking gun. That it's got to be for hunting or it's got to be for self-defense and no other reason. I like it because it's fun. And believe me, it's my fucking right to own it.
Obviously, we get it. You love guns. So what's the solution here?
Oh, I don't have a fucking solution. I'm not the fucking guy. I know I support...
Tougher gun laws?
No, that obviously doesn't work.
I mean, not tougher gun laws, tougher penalties
for the
is what
people that break gun laws. That is the answer. Not brand new legislation. Not making it more difficult for citizens in this country, law-abiding citizens, to get their right, their Second Amendment right to exercise it by owning a firearm. Yeah, some guy told me, he goes, don't worry, they're not coming after your guns. It's like, no, not in this step, maybe. Or maybe they are. I don't know. But I said, oh, really? And then he said, I have an imagined gun control problem. Like it's this imagined thing. I go, oh, I imagine it? I go, okay, bring a gun. Try to exercise your Second Amendment right in New York City right now. Go ahead. I go, enjoy your 2-year mandatory in prison if you try to exercise your imagined fucking gun control. It really is infuriating that people are so willing to just throw away their right, whether they like it or not. You don't have to have a gun. No one's telling you to buy one. But as a responsible, legal gun owner, it's my right. Mm-hmm. And leave me alone. Don't restrict me. Don't tell me I have to be restricted to what I get, how many I can buy in a month, how much ammunition I could procure. People are going to kill people. People are going to kill people on a daily basis because that's what people do. There are evil, evil people out there that just want to kill people for one reason or another.
Right.
A lot of motives out there. But they will kill people, whether it's with a knife, driving a car into a crowd of fucking people, or with a gun. It's just going to happen.
And they'll be arguing this point for another year or two, and nothing really will change either way. So
no, absolutely.
It'll just be what about Sarah Palin? Does this ruin her political career, Ant?
Nah, it doesn't ruin her political. I don't even know if she has one. You know, they like you said, the news pumps a lot of shit up and makes a lot of shit obvious. I know a lot of Republicans. I know a lot of fucking Tea Party people that just don't like Sarah Palin. She's a pariah on the party. She's a jinx. She's a fucking albatross. Get her away. No one's embracing this woman.
But this is a nice place to kind of like try to push her out, right?
Push her out? Well, I wouldn't like to see her. I mean,
the party knows how to push out their own.
I wouldn't like to see her made a scapegoat because that'll only spread amongst the party. Right. But people have distanced her. You're not seeing anybody that's been elected embracing Sarah Palin. And inviting them to their district and inviting her to their district and pumping her up for 2 more years. Just go away. Just fucking. Her show is just canceled, by the way, too.
Yeah,
that's Sarah Palin. Who gives a shit what she does in Alaska?
I'm gonna go hunt a moose show, whatever the fuck it was called. So, all right,
for her.
A lot of people want to talk about guns.
Oh, they certainly do.
Gun control doesn't mean anything with this case. He would have done this regardless.
Yeah, you wind up getting a gun.
Lives around the corner with the guy who did the shooting. Well, let's go to this person. Joe in Arizona. Joe, welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. What do you got, Joe?
Hello.
Yeah, everybody in my neighborhood knew this guy was nuts. We didn't know he was this nuts. But he went to high school with my daughter. She said she was always a weird fucker.
Oh, really? It was the weirdo?
Well, we all know weirdos.
Yeah, the weirdo.
So how do we know which weirdo is gonna, step forward and do something insane?
And be homicidal weirdo guy.
Right.
Right, yeah, listen, see, I saw him walking around the neighborhood. He never bothered anybody in the neighborhood, He was like one of those guys always talking to himself, doing nutty things.
This is something we have to deal with in the country we live in. We have a lot of freedoms in this country that can be abused, and people will pay consequences for it, whether it's something simple or death. It's horrible. Right. It's terrible. But it's what the consequences are of living in a country where we do have a Second Amendment and a First Amendment, freedom of speech, to say things like this rhetoric that they're talking about. Mm-hmm. It's protected speech. And the first thing people want to do when something like this happens is start scooping up rights.
I wish we could have blamed rhetoric over the years.
Yeah, please. Can we blame rhetoric?
Any other business you're in, you use a little rhetoric, you're so fired.
Rhetoric.
But in politics, I think you got a little more leeway.
Yeah.
I really do.
Arizona gun laws come under scrutiny, it says.
How about the 9-year-old girl, fucking Christina Taylor Greene? Yeah. Born on 9/11/2001.
That's terrible.
Of course it worked out that way.
That's fucking terrible.
Just horrible.
That's so many fucking just a little tweet argument going on last night with some people. It was fascinating. Just sitting there, people not really understanding my point, me not understanding their point. Debate will go on forever and ever.
That's the way of the world.
Until we just don't have any rights left, or it's anarchy, one or the other.
I try to avoid debate because that's what happens. It's just waiting for your turn to talk. There's never listening going on in any fucking debate.
You're not going to get people going, oh, wow, I didn't think of it that way.
No, they're just waiting. They just keep looking at your lips. All right, I think he's done.
Yeah.
All right, now this is what I have to say about it.
Time for my rhetoric.
There's never oh, that's kind of interesting, or that's a good point. Let me think about it. Well, I don't agree with you, but that's kind of, I got to think more on that. Never. Can't be bothered.
What's up? I'm Chris Rock. Each year, over 40,000 Americans die from gun-related violence. This despite the introduction of well-meaning gun exchange programs like Toys for Guns and Money for Guns. Now, we here at the Chris Rock Show would like to reduce the number of handgun deaths, but at the same time, we're not naive enough to think that we can end violence altogether. That's why tonight on the Chris Rock Show, we are introducing the Chris Rock Knives for Guns Exchange. Here's how it works. If you hand in any handgun, you will get one of these. A genuine Navy SEAL combat knife designed specifically for killing. And if you act within 24 hours, you will get one of these. A handy plastic box cutter. Perfect for high school metal detectors and rap concerts. I mean, why cause a huge disturbance when you just want to kill one guy? So turn in those cold, cowardly guns for something a little more personal. And remember, kids, any punk can fire from across the room, but it takes a man to get close enough to stab.